Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be looking at a new lesson called Syllable Mastery. If you haven't done so already, please check out our previous videos as this lesson will continue to build on the concepts learned there. But anyways, for this particular lesson, we're going to be looking at understanding word pronunciation through syllabic representation. So what I mean by this is that we're going to be adding periods between the letters of a word to indicate each syllable within that word. So as you know, all words are made up of a combination of syllables. Just like in English, Farsi is the same. So whenever we're trying to pronounce the words, we have a bunch of syllables put together to create the word. So let's go through some examples. So here are some words that we can practice in Farsi. So let's take a look at the very first word. So here we have the word baba. But we put a period here. So what does this period mean? It means that we are separating the word baba into two syllables. Ba, ba. So that way, whenever we're pronouncing the full word, we can just say baba. So the whole point of adding these syllables is really to just make it easier for you to break down the words into smaller segments that you can pronounce easier. If you remember in our previous lesson, we were working on different sounds like ma, mo, me, ni, things like that. So that way, now you can, when you see a word like this, you could be like, oh, this is ba, and this one's also ba. So if I put it together, that will make it baba, baba, which means dad. And again, we wrote down the Farsi for you at the bottom, underneath the words, for if you're interested in learning Farsi and trying to read through Farsi, it's there for you as well. So let's look at the next word. This one is, so let's try to break it out before we even try to pronounce the whole thing. This one will be ma. And this one will be mon. So put it together, it'll be ma-mon, ma-mon. And then whenever we're pronouncing the word, we generally say it fast, but we don't mumble our word either. So we say something like ma-mon, ma-mon. There's a little bit of stress maybe on the next consonant right after the period, but it's almost subtle. Very brief. So mamon, mamon, which means mom. How about this one? So let's break it down again. Ba and ron. This will be baron, baron, which means rain. How about the next one? Ke tob, ke tob, ketab. So if I was to put it together and say it fluently, it would be ketab, ketab. See how I'm breaking down the word to make it easier for me to remember how to pronounce it? So you can try the same thing as well. So let's look at the next one. Su and rat. So this is again a two-syllable word, but whenever we're pronouncing it, you can go surat, surat, and then if I want to sound fluent, surat, 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 which means face. So take a look at this one. Ba, zu, ba, zu. So if I were to say it fluently again, bazu, bazu, which means arm. So I want to talk about why we're putting in this period, why it's so important to know where the syllables are broken out. Sometimes whenever you're reading words quickly, you may all of a sudden make a mistake because you may be rushed to say the word, or you're just trying to sound fluent. So whenever you're reading it, you're just going to say what you think it will be. So you may also say, oh, bazoo, bazoo, but that's not correct. So that's why we're putting, the whole point of this lesson is to learn that when the period is here, we are breaking down this into ba, Zoo. So it's not a bazoo. It's bazoo. Bazoo. All right? So we're trying to help you out because again, the whole point of this channel is so that way you get the perfect pronunciation. So you sound like a fluent Farsi speaker. That's the whole point. So let's look at the next one, and this will also be a good example of what I was talking about. So if you were to see this word and you were just trying to read it quickly, you may think it's like, oh, angosht, angosht. That's what it is, angosht, but that's not correct at all. So let's break it down. So this one is an. And what about this one? So remember, this O makes a O sound if you remember from lesson 1. So this will be gosht, gosht. So if I was to put it together, angosht, angosht, angosht. So if I was to say it quickly, angosht, angosht, angosht. That means finger. Oh, how about this one? This one is just a one-syllable word. Pretty easy, right? Mu, 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 which means hair. How about this one? Also a one-syllable word. Ob, ob, which means water. This one, dar, 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 which means door. And now we're back to two-syllable words. So, divar, 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 which means wall. So remember, always break down those words into syllables so that way you remember how to pronounce them properly. Pe, dar, pedar, 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 which means father. And lastly, miz. So this is a one-syllable word. We're not pausing anywhere. Miz, 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 which means table. So if you want, try to go through this on your own one time and read all these words. And if there's any words that you always confuse on the pronunciation, break it down into the syllables. And that way you'll be able to pronounce them more correctly. So let's try this together. Baba, maman, baran, ketab, surat, bazu, angosht, mu, ab, dar, divar, pedar, miz. If you want, try that again yourself, and then you can come back to this video and make sure, check to see if you pronounced it correctly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did like it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also always, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm more than excited to read whatever it is that you have to say. And this is just another quick little introduction to our next lesson that you'll be seeing in our future video, Phonetic Expression, lesson number 4, Mastering Word Pronunciation with Pronunciation Guides. And if you haven't checked out our previous videos, make sure to do that because our next lessons will just keep on building those. So yeah, hope to see you there. Enjoy.